Hello everyone, Steve Gage here, NASM certified personal trainer and co-owner of Engage Fitness DC. Today we're going to go over a 20-minute segment on inner thigh stretches. Why is that important? Because it affects the range of motion of the leg, the hip, and just everything else that's connected to it. And why is a lot of us have that tightness in that inner thigh? Because a lot of us now are sitting a little more than we used to, the way things are right now. So what happens when we're sitting is those inner thighs, muscles on the inside, get shortened, and they get into that seated position. They get shortened and tight, and then we go to try to move them, and they really don't want to do much because they're used to being in that closed position. So we're going to help loosen them up and allow a little more movement in that leg and the hip. So with these stretches, we're doing 2 to 3 of each stretch and holding the end range of that position for 15 to 20 seconds. Again, these stretches should not be excruciating painful. They'll be a little uncomfortable, but that's when we breathe through that uncomfortable feeling and allow that muscle to stretch and relax. So first position, we're going to sit right down on the floor, and we're getting those legs open as wide as you can, keeping the legs straight. So just getting the legs separated just until you start to see the legs bend, because we want to keep those legs as locked and straight as we can, pointing the toes towards the knee. And then we're just going to start with hands just on the floor, or even if you're really tight, you start out to the side, right behind the legs. And we're just going to slowly lean forward at the waist. We're keeping the body upright, sitting tall, and we're just going to lean forward, keeping those legs straight, toes pointed towards the knee. And you'll feel that, again, back of the knee on the inside of the leg. And we're just slowly getting the body a little more inside of the legs. And you can also switch to the hands in that position in front now and just slowly creep forward. Again, just nice and easy, finding that sweet spot of really uncomfortable and okay, just a little discomfort, because we want to find that spot and just breathe through the discomfort. But again, there should be no pain, shooting pain, just a little bit of tenderness. And we'll relax, we'll ease off that stretch, give the legs a break, take those few seconds of breath. And then right back into it. So each time we're stretching, we're trying to get a little farther each time. Keeping those toes pointed, those legs locked, and just trying to get out a little farther. We're holding that position for another 10 seconds. Taking those big inhales and exhales. And then relax. Okay, last time. Another big inhale, exhale. And then getting out a little farther, maybe even getting the legs a little more open. Just trying to reach a little farther. Three, two, one, and relax. Slowly come back to the middle. Bring those legs. Maybe shake them out, get a little bit of movement, ease out some of that tension. Okay, next we're going to take a variation of that shape with one leg at a time. So we're getting one leg out just to where you feel it's comfortable and that's end range of motion for that leg. And the other foot comes in, inside of your foot is against that thigh or as close to it as you can. And then we're just gonna try to lean forward again. We're working one leg at a time. We're just keeping the body upright and just leaning forward, allowing that leg to roll a little bit. Because as that leg rolls forward, you'll start to feel that stretch from the outside and the inside of the knee all the way to the inner thigh. And you're just rolling. Getting as close to the floor as we can. And it can even create a little movement in that hip. So instead of keeping that leg in that one position, you can move the foot down and back, finding where you might get a better stretch in that inner thigh. We're feeling it from the back of the knee all the way to the inside of the leg. You'll notice as you get closer to that floor, the more stretch you feel on the inside of that leg. And then relax, give it a break. And as we find those spots of tension, we'll try not to hold any tension anywhere else. Just breathe through it and relax. And then just roll forward back into that position. Because the closer we get that knee to that floor, the more stretch we're going to get on the inside of that leg. Create a little movement too. Roll that ankle, the heel, sorry. And just back and forth, kind of feel where that tension is hiding. And last time, so we're going to switch to the other side now. Same thing. And you may even notice one side carries a little more or less tension than the other. That's totally fine. Everybody has those areas of the body are different. All right, Lucy? And the key is we want to try to get that leg as straight as we can. Toes are pointed towards the knee, right? Am I good? Then just going to lean forward. Nice and slow with these stretches, and along with any other stretching, we don't want to throw ourselves into the position. We want to ease into it, feeling into that tension. Even add a little bit of pressure on that hip, just slightly pressing down. Allowing that foot to roll a little bit down towards the floor. And ease off. Give it a few seconds break. Right back into it, rolling that leg a little bit. Trying to keep it as straight as we can. And then right back up one more time, give it a few seconds rest. Again, 2 to 3 times each side or each stretch, holding 15 to 20 seconds, and then give it a break. Last time, rolling forward, letting that foot travel down just a little bit towards the floor. So you'll notice as that foot starts to come down a little bit with the body, you feel that the inside of that leg we're looking for. You can also add a little bit of pressure on that hip. Just getting it down to the floor a little bit more. notice too, the more upright you are, closer to that leg, the more stretch you're also going to get in that leg. So just play around with that position. Find some different bodily positions that work best for you, because everybody holds tension differently, so you may not feel it as well as somebody else in a certain shape. And then relax. Okay, we'll give those legs a break. And you want to be able to give that area of stretch just a little bit of relief, because we are essentially, we're tearing those fibers, getting rid of those tight areas and tension of knots. So we want to give it a little break and not just be under constant tension for the whole stretching session. Okay, next we're going to build on that single leg stretch. So with this, we're getting our hands on the floor. We're going to actually roll the inside of that foot is on the floor, and then we're going to prop ourselves up, scooting that foot back. And we're just going to get that inside of that leg as close to the floor. So you may need to start up here or even higher. That's fine. We want to get the inside of that foot right against the floor. And then standing up tall. And if you need a little more, just simply lower to the floor. Maybe scoot that leg out a little more. And then lean away from that leg, because the farther you are from that leg, that foot, the more stretch you're going to get on the inside of the leg. And then give it a break. Back at it, nice, easily getting back into that stretch, getting the inside of that foot flat on the floor. And you can play around with that other leg too. If you need to get that leg a little farther, to get into that stretch a little more. Again, we're just finding that shape that works best for us in this position. Even get a little rotation on the heel for that hip as well. And then relax. And if you have sensitive ankles, I would definitely suggest throwing a pillow underneath that foot to give it a little support, because we're in a little bit of discomfort already. We don't want to add another area of tension as we're trying to relieve another. Okay, so we'll take our break, give those inner thighs a little break from that stretch. And then getting back into the other leg now. Same thing, start tall on that knee. Again, if you have sensitive knees too, you can slide a pillow under that knee, giving it a little bit of extra support. And we're starting on the heel, and then rolling that inside of the foot, getting it as close to the floor as we can, getting that whole leg to rotate down. And then we're slowly coming to the floor, scooting that foot out. Nice and slow. And again, if you need to take the position here, that's totally fine. I want to focus on feeling the stretch on the inside of the leg and the back of the knee. We're just rocking backwards a little bit. Leaning into that leg. And again, if you need a little more, you can separate the two legs, because the farther they are apart, the more stretch you're going to get in that inner thigh. And then give it a break, come back to the middle, give that leg a little bend. Okay, right back to that stretch. Nice and easy, getting back into it. taking about 4 to 5 big inhales and exhales in that stretch. That's equal to about that 15 to 20 second mark. And rest, give it a break, slowly come up. Okay, we'll take a pause here. And the last stretch. This is called cobbler pose, one of Sarah Jane's yoga poses. So we're getting the knees out to the side. Again, just as wide as you can take it, just finding that shape that works for you. Feet, insides of the feet are together. Now we're just gonna sit onto those hips and just try to scoot those legs out. And then just sit back into those hips. Nice and slow. Again, finding that comfortable but slightly uncomfortable position where we feel that little bit of tension in that inner thigh, but not excruciatingly painful. And give it a break. So just prop yourself up. Bring the legs back together, give it a break. Taking about 2 to 3 recovery breaths to let those muscles recover a little bit. Then we give them one last big stretch. So feet together and finding that ideal knee position where you can get into that inner thigh and then just sit back into those hips. And then come forward a little bit. Three, two, one, and slowly come back to that seated position. And we're done. So make sure after you've done any kind of stretching routine, you're drinking plenty of water. That's gonna flush out all those toxins that have been building up in those tight muscles and flush them out, so you won't get that soreness as much as if you didn't drink any water. And if you're just brand new to these, I would suggest 1 to 2 of these a day, 2 to 3 times a week. Again, just get a feel for it, feel out that tension and alleviate a lot of that inner thigh and hip pain. Thank you for joining me, everybody. I'll see you guys next time. Be safe, be kind, and choose to be well. Take care.